So you can see I've got a heap of oilseed rape behind me. The white stuff here are the pods that come in and the admixture. We store it for other people or for ADM, the grain merchant. It's not our rape. And just while we're on that, quite a few people have said to me that you thought that we weren't going to be storing rape anymore. Yes, I did say that last year, and we were going to go into commercial storage because the income from storing agricultural produce is not that brilliant. Half of our income goes in costs. It's really quite costly with electricity and cooling it, and that's what these towers are just here. We put fans on the top. We've got forklift as well to look at in all the costs of running it and stacking it up. We've got Tom in the weighbridge as well, so we've got a lot of costs in getting that. We were going to go into commercial storage. However, the commercial storage market is dead at the minute, so rather than get nothing, we've gone back into storing oilseed rape, and we might be on this, I think, for a year or two, unless the oilseed rape area really plummets, which yields at the moment mostly aren't very good at all. We are moulting at the minute. Tom's got the mould drainer going and it's going really well, but I haven't got much footage from that on this update, just a little clip here at the start, and you'll see how well it's going. And we're going through cover crops and pulling it really well, going nice and steady, and you can see we're doing every breed in effect. So we've got a slot in the ground about every 2 meters apart, but that goes down to the drains. But I will give you a full update on this on Sunday. So Sunday's update is mostly about mould draining. I'm going to do some sketches and drawings on a noteboard to show you how we need to go through the gravel in the drains and how we'll look at the drainage plans first, and really go into some detail about it. So Tom's going to be explaining our internal quality control, what we have to do here in the weighbridge, because that's really important we get it right. We've also looked at a new field that we've taken on the edge of a poultry unit that's just been set up, built just literally across the road. Also, I'm looking at sugar beet. Haven't looked at that lately in our sugar beet herbicide trials, and got some fascinating look at the plots that haven't had any herbicides at all, and how it really affects the sugar beet growth. Ryegrass, another problem weed. A lot of people are saying that's going to be the next blackgrass. We've got 1 or 2 plants of those dotted about, so we need to be aware of that. And I've actually got the blackgrass pullers coming back in the morning to do sugar beet and some more spring barley. Also, our grain store repairs. You saw Sunday's update. We've found an issue at the back of the shed, so we are actually repairing the grain store and showing you what we do there. And lastly, we had a fuel delivery as well today, so I'll go into a bit of detail about that, how much it uses, the equipment uses, and look at the lorry that delivers it and how all the lorries sectioned out in compartments, and get a bit of detail from the driver. So lots going on in this update. Thanks very much for watching. As I say, the moulting, not much going on, but please save your energy for Sunday, because Sunday's update will all be about moulting. Hope you enjoy this midweek one. Thanks very much for watching, and if you make it to the end, please press like, and we'll see you then. It's Monday morning, and we've got oilseed rape coming into store this week, and we have to do a check with our moisture meter now. Various checks we have to do with admix and things like that, and this is a sample we get sent. We're signed up to Frontier, one of the other grain merchants, and they send samples out to stores like this that do wheat, barley, oilseed rape, whatever, and we just store oilseed rape. So we get the rape sample, and we have to send a sample back on what we find, and then they enter it all onto their spreadsheet, onto their system, and then they tell us how far out or not we are, and then we get checked on that in our audit throughout the winter. So I'll just get Tom to go through and show you what we do here, because we've got a few things to do in the weighbridge office here, just to make sure we pass all the criteria and we stick to all the regulations. And the reason we have to do this is because the results we get, the farmers are paid on those results, and except oil, because we don't do oil here, and they leave the oil testing until it gets to its end destination, because we could be storing this rape until probably next June, so a long while. But admixture, moisture, temperature, and the various other criteria that Tom's going to show you in a minute, the farmers get paid on what we find here, so it's really important that we do it correctly. So this is the sample that they've given us. So Tom, over to you.
Usually it's obviously through the spear.
Yeah, we all normally sample through the spear, through the lorry, but this particular one we have to do through the bag here. This is what they've sent us.
So it's actually moisture, bushel weight, if you like.
It needs to be below 9%. Otherwise, above that is a claim if this was a farmer's rate, but this is just to test what we're doing.
Unless it's over 10, we'd have to ring ADM.
Yeah. So if it is over a certain criteria, what do you have to do?
To ring ADM, and then they've got to give you permission to tip, basically.
Yeah.
If it's over moisture, admix, I guess that's where they'll claim the farmer then.
They'll ring the farmer, yeah, to see if he's okay with the claims on it.
And you'll weigh out 100 grams.
So what we're doing here,
So.
yeah, 100 grams.
And then it goes through the sieves.
So there's different size sieves in there. So that's all then.
That's your admix, if you like.
Yeah.
So as you can see, there's a bit of wheat in there. And that's all rape chaff.
Yeah, bit of wheat there. So then what we're doing now.
And into a finer sieve, you can see.
Yeah.
And you get like little bits of.
Oh, all the dusty sort of stuff. There's not a lot coming out of that one.
No.
Yeah. 0.7.
And you should cut off is 2.
Yeah.
So the 2%, well, 2% of 100 is 2.
Yeah.
2 grams.
So then this is the blank form that we have to fill in, and it's called the proficiency test scheme that we're part of. So this is the various things we have to do. We're not looking at oven tests because we've just got we've got that moisture meter. So what have we got?
Then you've got the green seeds, burnt seeds, rancid chicken seeds.
Yeah.
So normally have a look if you see anything abnormal,
Yeah.
which looks like rapeseed. Normally get a few out. Got a ruler that you squash a few and see how it is.
And just see what colour it is inside.
Yeah, you see it's coming out as rape should. There's also this block we've got.
There. And if there's any different coloured ones, you can see there, they all look really healthy.
But yeah, they all look alright.
Yeah.
There would be, like I say, rounded or
Yeah.
green or chitted seeds, obviously.
So that's all the different criteria. So that is the results that you've just filled in. So that now, I email that off to Frontier, gets entered into the system, and then I'll get a result back in a few days' time to tell how far out we are, because this will all be tested at the other end, so Frontier will have done it. So they'll know what all these results should be. And we then see how far out we are. But that machine was calibrated, wasn't it? When was that calibrated? No. Yeah.
For the rape, so May time, I think?
Yeah.
June time.
So it was all calibrated, so it should be right. So then what we're doing now is, this sample, what's this for?
Every day we'll do a test. Every day that rape's coming in, and then we'll write on.
Put a cross
There's
on
your
the...
base figure, and that's how much it's gone up or how much it's gone down. Actually, monitoring line, warning line, and action line. If that gets that far of fluctuation, then you need to possibly have something wrong with your machine.
Yeah.
You need to have it sorted out.
So we put a cross on where it is, and then
So this is
9.24, so
let's say it's 9.2, and 9.24 there.
there. And then last year's sheet, was that last year's? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what it finishes like when we've done it every day. So that just shows that's the line where it started off at. And then this is what Tom was on about, when it varies. Just go back, what are those other dates we've got? We haven't got a cross on those.
So we didn't get a sample from Frontier until Friday afternoon,
Yeah.
Saturday morning, whenever it arrived. We haven't got a given value until Frontier sent us the sample out.
No, that's right. I kept on to them last week about it, and we didn't get it till Friday, and yet we had 5 or 6 days of intake before it arrived. Anyway, great. All right, Tom, thank you.
No worries.
I'm stood in a field now that we used to farm a few years ago. Apologise for the wind, I haven't got my muffled microphone with me. We used to farm this field up until about 3 or 4 years ago, and it was then put on the market, and it's now been sold, and there is a broiler chicken unit, poultry unit going up. You can just see over this bank. We'll have a look at that in a minute. But we're now going to be farming this field again, but it's been laying fallow for a couple of years. And when you look at it, this is exactly the reason that I was on about my video the other day about all this land that's in SFI and weed mixtures seeding. I know this is an extreme and some of those SFI mixtures won't be all weeds like this, but a lot of this is blackgrass. And when we farmed this 4 years ago, we got it so there was no blackgrass in it at all. And when you look at this, this is now blackgrass. All these are blackgrass ears. And the blackgrass is seeded. If you look there on the ground, you can just see the white seeds. That's blackgrass seed. So when we bring this back in now, we're going to have a real job here. We're going to have to be very careful with contamination of machinery in this one field, taking it around the rest of the farm. We've just sprayed it with Roundup to control all these thistles and everything. Then it will, whether the solo will do it or it will need topping, I'm not too sure. But one thing we're going to have to be really careful is all the weeds here, the blackgrass. There's some more blackgrass that hasn't shed there, but you can just see there, you can see it dropping on the floor there, look, the white seeds there. And so this field will not be able to be drilled early. We'll have to cultivate it, spray it a few times, and then we will drill it probably late October and let some of this weeds germinate so we can control them before we plant the wheat in here. Anyway, we'll just have a quick look across there, but these are the poultry units that's going up. So looking over this bank, this is what's going on. There's going to be 6 sheds here. They'll all hold about 40,000 birds apiece. And this is where our yard is, just through there. Yeah, so that's where we are. There's the yard in relation to the sheds just here. I haven't given you an update on our sugar beet trials lately. And this is up on the light land on the heath. You can see it's very flat and open up here. And this is a free draining soil. There's no drains or anything like that. It's really good soil. We can usually get on it in January, February time. After a bit of rain, it's fairly forgiving. And we've got some herbicide trials here, and you can just see the broadleaf weeds and the weeds showing what they're like. And I'll just go through these and look at these, and you'll just see the benefits of what what herbicides do to crop and food production. I've just seen this plant of sterile brome, so I've pulled that, and I've spotted another one just down here through this beet, just there. And these grass weeds, and you can just see it growing there. So just a case of pulling it like that and then taking it off the field. Just little things like that. We just need to keep getting rid of these. Another one there. Let's see if I can get that side of that beet. There we go. Pulls really easy on this soil type. So this is the herbicide trial, and you can just see the line. This is obviously the crop where we've sprayed, and it's had 3 herbicides, I think. Might have had 4, but I think it's 3. Then look down the line here. This is the trial area. The whole area was divided up into different plots. You can see here different numbers on. They've all been sprayed by hand, so they've all had different treatments, some a lot more than others. This is a plot here that's had nothing. And early on, when it didn't have any herbicide, you can see there's one sugar beet plant there. The sugar beet was a lot bigger because the herbicides do knock the sugar beet. They do stunt it a little bit. But when you look now at the amount of weeds here, this is all what we call fat hen. There's virtually no sugar beet down in the bottom here. Little one there, look. If I pull it out, let's see if I can get that out. There we go. So that's a sugar beet plant that's grown amongst weeds compared to this one. Excuse me, Nala. When you look, Nala, come on out. There, that is how big they are. Look at my hand there, and I'll put that one next to it. So that is without herbicides. That is all the competition stunted the growth compared to with herbicides. The differences are huge, 10, 12, 20 times smaller that is. Just incredible when you look at that. So that's what herbicides do, and that's the same with any crop, and it just guarantees obviously a lot more food and less imports. You can see down there the line, that's the line down there. Across that side of the field is where we've had the strip trials. We'll go and have a look at those. Just before we get there, there's an area here, not very good germination, and there's quite a few blackgrass plants. You can see here, that's blackgrass, and there's another quite bushy one there. So I will just pull this area. When you look at that, that's huge, that blackgrass plant. So it pulls easily, look at that. That's come from one seed last year. I'm now in one of the strip till cultivated plots, and you can see here there's some gaps. Germination wasn't brilliant here. Skylark singing above again. Then we've come over now into the second strip till cultivator. Gaps here as well. So just touching on this strip till cultivation technique or system, if you look back at my video update 248, I think it was, that's when we were using these machines, and I don't know whether we actually use them in the ideal conditions, because normally or sometimes you would actually use the cultivator a couple of times and create a nice friable area around the seed, and we didn't do that. We did it once, but we're on light land and we thought it would work, and then I think we used the Amazon drill in the plots, and then on the rest of the field we had the Vardostat Tempo drill that drilled all our sugar beet, contractor's machine. And we probably, for consistency, we maybe should have had the same drill do the plots that we had on the rest of the field for an even sort of more accurate comparison. So I don't think we want to read too much into the strip till trial we've got here yet. We'll do it again next year and maybe change a few things to make it right. But it's just interesting at the minute that we've got a lot more gaps. The germination hasn't been anywhere near as good where we had the strip trials. And if you look at update 268, I think that's the one, we are trialling a new variety from KWS, that's the German plant breeder, and we had an assessment done on that variety, and if you look at that, you'll see that that variety establishment is so much better than 1915. So there is definitely an issue with 1915, but British Sugar know this, and I think the plant breeders do as well. So we'll keep you updated on what's happening there, because I think there might be a claim going in or something happening. Just spotted the ladybird down here. What might be happening, and we hopefully, because we're going to get some crop loss because we haven't got enough plants here, so hopefully we might get some compensation, but I'll keep you updated on that one. Coming out the field, that's one of the little environmental plots we put in for our open day, and here is said ladybird. Sunbathing out the wind and in the sun, just glorious. Just looking at this sugar beet, there's no aphid so much, there's one on the back of the leaf there, but it did have neonic seed treatment, this crop, so it will probably be running out now, so we might start to see some aphids in here. While we're talking about problem weeds, I've just come back into the field that the team of Rogers have been in here twice now and done, and I've just spotted some ryegrass, and I've just pulled that because this is ryegrass, and I know some farmers are saying that blackgrass is a doddle to control compared to ryegrass. So just spotted these plants, so this is the sort of thing that we need to be pulling, and I just hope we're not starting an infestation of this, because I did notice when the Rogers were in one of our fields of spring barley up here only a week or two ago, quite a lot of it in the bucket was ryegrass and not blackgrass, so we really need to be watching out for this and making sure that even odd plants like this don't seed, because I think if we're not careful, ryegrass is going to be the next blackgrass, but even more difficult to control. Found another plant here, so I will try and pull that, but it's very difficult. There you go, I think that's the base of it there. You can just see how it all spreads out, so this is why you need to get down to the bottom. And this is why I'm thinking that some of these other things like weed wiping across the top and that other machine, the Zern machine, won't get all of things like this. So look at that, just pulling that one root has pulled all these ears here of ryegrass. So I'll take that off, along with these others we've pulled, and I'll take them right out the field here. Put them down on that roadside, well away from the field. Just come down with our agronomist Michael, or as Mr. Peck would say, cousin Michael, because he is James's cousin. He's also my son-in-law. Anyway, we've just come down to have a look at there's the shed's being built. Just look at this water, because all the water from the field that we're now going to be farming will come in here. And having farmed this field for 11 to 12 years before this, I know it's a very low-lying field, but all the water goes out that corner into a neighbour's dike. It's Tuesday lunchtime. I've just got back from Louth from meeting one or two farmers with my NFU hat on, livestock farmers over there near Louth. Just come in the grain store that we've had problems at the back of the shed with, and Ruben's just been starting to repair this properly. I got some angle iron on Friday to do it, and Ron's helping him, Ron, who's built the house for us last year. So I'll just show you what we're doing here. Hopefully this will be a permanent fix for it. So we've cut off, or rather Ron and Ruben have cut off the timber because it came right back to there, and there was a gap there. That's where the mice are in. So they've cut that right back. You can see the gap there that needs filling there. That's where the mice are in. Hoovered it out and blown it all out. So we're just going to put some sloppy cement in there and then put the angle iron on top of that, weld it to that, and then seal it along the edge there. And that should hopefully cure it and stop the mice from having a home. Got a fuel delivery just arrived. I've ordered 25,000 litres of gas oil, which is red diesel, tractor diesel. He's obviously just going on the weighbridge to weigh himself, see what his weighs. Not a problem. So just coming in here. 31.82 tonnes, that's what he weighs. I'll just take a bit of paper out and write it down for him. He's just going to put some in the Bowser first while Ruben finishes and fills the tractor up, because we just need to make a bit of space in this tank so it'll hold it all. So he's just going in here, and the Bowser is just there. That holds about 2,500, actually 3,000, so he'll put 1,500 in that and then we're fine. Just going to do that. I say, just while I'm here, we've got some windows out in the house before we demolish it. If anybody's looking for any PVC windows, we've got various sizes, various selection of these. If anybody's interested, let us know. There's the horse augers we still haven't got a home for yet. And that's for the drills. So this is the various pots, what they call it, all the different compartments. We'll have a look at those in a minute. That's how much he's put in the Bowser. And there you can see on the side tube there. So just putting the hose back. That's put in. We're up to there now. There was a few hundred litres in it. So we'll drop that lid down now and seal it up. So because there's a lot to go in at one go, we're going direct in with the big pipe. Direct feed straight into the tank. Driver was just saying, there he goes. It's all doing it automatically now, the engine revs and everything. He's just set it so that all these pots, as they call it, or compartments, Stu and I, but the fuel companies call them pots. So there's one, you can see that's the dividing line from one pot to the next. There's another on the weld seam there. And there's another one there. And then another one there. So potentially they could have all different fuels in, different types of fuel. But because we want 23,500 litres, or I've actually ordered 25, I think, 25.5, but this has got 23.5 in. So what he's done, it's every pot has got gas oil in. You can see here it's all labelled, so he knows. But he's just set it so that he'll empty one pot, switch off, go on to the next, switch off and work his way along. So he doesn't have to touch anything now. And he said it's about half an hour, 40 minutes to empty all that into our tank. That's the rate it's going at. And that's obviously litres. So we'll just go around the back here. You see the big pipe he's got. So all this pipe now is full of fuel. You can see this, looking at my hand, you can see how big this pipe is. So you put an adapter on here, that reduce it will bring it down. Open the tap there, so that's feeding straight into the top of the tank. And that tank holds about 25,000 litres. So we've already taken 2,000 or 1,800 out into the Bowser. So it'll easily hold this without him worrying about it overflowing. But we are all bunded here. We've got a bund here to contain any fuel spillages if we happen to have any. And there's the tank there, the breather at the top. Got an elbow on it. So there's a breather there, so it so the tank doesn't pull in and expand and the air can get in and out as we're filling it and unfilling it, or emptying it rather. And we've got a gauge here. It shows how many litres is in the tank. So it's always a minute or two reacting after the fuel's gone in. So that gives us a level of how much we've got in, so we know when to order some more when the tank's sort of probably got 3,000 litres left in it. Just talking about fuel, there's about, I think it's just over £17,000 worth of fuel in here. And Tom, who's started moulling the other day, and I'll have a full update on that this coming Sunday, so watch out if you're interested in mould draining and how we're helping to rectify all the damage that the rain has done this winter. Tom's using about 500 litres a day, which isn't a lot considering the work he's doing and how deep he is. We use a lot more than that on a day on the solo and things like that. I think this John Deere RX that we've got holds about 900 litres in the tank, 950 maybe, whereas the quad track we had was 1800 litres, so a lot more, but it was a lot thirstier than the John Deere. But that's where we are with fuel. So how long this will last, not quite sure. It will last well into harvest when we start combining, because we're not going to be combining for another 2 to 3 weeks yet. Maybe more than that even, maybe 3 weeks at least, well into the middle of August. So we'll need some more fuel probably at the end of August when we start combining properly. Got another lorry have arrived for bringing oilseed rape in. This is how we sample it, and then it goes into the weighbridge in a container in there in the wall, which I'll show you the other day when I've got a bit more time. Just got this fuel deliveries finished. Just on this delivery, just before you start working it out and saying about we've paid a lot for the fuel, the figure I just gave you of 17,000 was not for 23,500, it's for 25,500. That's for the total amount we've ordered, so we've got a bit more to come. Just looking at the back of the shed here with the repair we've been doing, Ian's just welded this angle iron up to it. Wasn't easy because of the concrete behind it wasn't level. So we've just got to seal between each weld seam, then seal the little gaps down at the bottom down there. That's job done. And then seal up just in that corner as well. Then when we empty the shed with the bucket, if we hit that now with the lip of the bucket, when there's all wheat in here, you can't see where the back of the shed is, it won't hurt it with it being metal.